Hey Coach, so this is my journal review for 11/5/2013, and this is about public opinion. This was the chapter. So, I really like the New York Times. In case you haven't noticed, I think I've done everything from the New York Times. New York Times is great, and I love it, and it's my favorite, just in case you didn't know. Other than the BBC, but I don't really like using the BBC for these. It can get a little hard to find stuff. So, I found an article called The Marijuana Experiment from January 4th, which was really interesting. I didn't expect it to be so early on. And it was just written by the editorial board. There was no actual journalist, just the editorial board. So, this is discussing the legalization of marijuana in both Washington and Colorado as recreational purposes. Like, you don't have to have a medical license. And it's talking about how, because of the public opinion on this is becoming to where it's at the point that marijuana should be legalized. Um, these two are definitely the two states that are kind of the deciding factor when it comes to national levels on whether or not it should be. Specifically, they're looking at a few things. They're looking at the consumption of alcohol. There have been a few studies that say if you smoke weed, you drink less alcohol, and they're looking specifically for that. They're seeing if drunk driving accidents go down, and in turn, if there are more accidents caused by smoking marijuana and being too high to drive. YOLO. They're looking at obviously underage smoking. They don't want that to happen. And I know that Colorado, I think, has a few laws against it. Like, you can't put marijuana ads like within like 300 something, like 300 yards, probably longer. It's probably like half a mile within a school or a playground or anything like that. And if you make something that like seems appealing to younger kids, like say THC laced gummy bears, you're probably gonna get your license taken away. They're also looking for drug trafficking. Like, they're looking to see if the black market, quote unquote, goes away in these states. Like, if it decreases it, or they're actually not sure, because if weed is more expensive in actual like legally taxed places, like legally taxed shops, then I guess the black market wouldn't go away, would it now? Because it would be cheaper. I'm sure there would still be some citizens who would actually buy it from the government, but I guess I don't know. A fourth thing that they were looking for was trafficking in between states. Like, say I went to Colorado and I bought some marijuana. I can't take it to Wyoming, obviously, because it's still illegal in Wyoming. Like, I can't do that. And they're like trying to monitor that. And I know for Colorado, in this article, it said that the drug trafficking laws for visitors, like for visitors, you can only get a quarter of an ounce. But if you live in the state of Colorado, you can get up to an ounce. And they're expecting you to smoke it while you're there. I don't think that's going to work out too well, but I really don't know. Could actually be very fantastic. Okay, so how this has to deal with public opinion. Obviously, these laws have been changed specifically because of the public opinion. If people didn't think that marijuana should be legalized, it wouldn't be legalized. So it has definitely changed policies in the government, national and state level. These two states being prime example. National, because the DOJ is not going to try them to make sure that it stays illegal in those states. I think this is actually really pretty cool, and I think it's an interesting development, because I do think that taxing marijuana is totally going to help the economy, and it's probably going to create a lot of jobs. There are probably going to be a lot of people who want to work at places that sell marijuana. I'm pretty sure that I could name like half of our school. Yeah. And it's really cool that this is just changed specifically because people wanted it to. Like, really, the government didn't do much of anything. I mean, they just passed some laws, but the people were the ones who wanted it in the first place. So they banded together and they got it. And that's awesome. That's one thing I like about government. Alright, well, the link is in the bottom. I figured out how to do it. I'm going to send you the link to this video, but the link to the article is going to be in, like, the bottom. Okay, just letting you know. watch out. Okay? Do it. Be safe. Alright.